Hello, dear friends. Today is July 10th, 2025, and you're watching another traditional overview of the battlefield map. The main changes as of today are occurring on the southern Donetsk axis. There are also notable developments on the Konstantinovka and Krasnyi Lyman fronts. In addition, there are important updates from the Sumy direction, which we will discuss and visualize in this report. But before we begin, I would like to ask you, as always, to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching our reports regularly but haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Your subscription greatly helps the development of this project. Thank you to everyone who has already supported us. Now let's start with the Kherson direction. Over the past 24 hours, 2 airstrikes by the Russian aerospace forces were recorded in the areas of the settlements of Sadovoye and Antonovka. In response, the Ukrainian side claimed to have repelled a Russian attack near the settlement of Pribrezhnoye. However, it's worth noting that such claims of daily repelled attacks by Ukrainian forces in this sector have long become routine. In reality, most of the activity along the contact line here appears to involve FPV drones, while both sides use artillery deeper into the rear. The front line itself has remained largely static for years. Moving on to the Orikhiv direction, starting with the Malyaya-Tokmachka area, positional fighting continues. Russian units are attempting to advance and secure positions within Malyaya-Tokmachka. In response, Ukrainian forces are launching counterattacks toward Novopokrovka. At this time, however, the front line remains unchanged. There were also reports of Ukrainian attacks on Russian positions near the settlement of Belogorye, though no significant gains were recorded. Additionally, Russian forces conducted artillery strikes on Ukrainian positions south of Orikhiv. Overall, positional battles are ongoing along this entire stretch of the front. Next, we move to Kaminske. As reported, this settlement came fully under Russian control yesterday. The surrounding area has been cleared, and the Russian flag was raised in one of its districts. Russian troops are slowly advancing toward Plavny, and it's expected that this territory will soon also be secured, after which Russian forces are likely to fortify and hold the line, similar to what happened in Stepovoy, Malye-Sherbaki, and Sherbaki. Further advances here are complicated by terrain, field roads, and high ground held by Ukrainian forces. Despite repeated FAB strikes on these positions, Ukrainian observers continue adjusting artillery fire. Unless these positions are captured, deeper movement will be difficult. Let's continue with the Gulye-Pole axis. The only notable events here are taking place near Malinovka. Positional battles are ongoing, with Russian forces trying to seize the village, but Ukrainian troops are using FPV drones effectively to hold them back. Otherwise, the situation remains unchanged. Now to the settlements of Volnoy Pole and Shevchenko. Ukrainian artillery struck Russian positions near Shevchenko. Video footage from forward Russian positions north of Volnoy Pole shows that Russian forces advanced by about 1 kilometer, securing the territory marked in red. To the west of Volnoy Pole, Russian troops gained around 1.5 kilometers. This area is now cleared and under full Russian control. The Russian military continues attempts to approach Voskresenka and entrench on its outskirts. However, Ukrainian units, using a large number of FPV drones, are effectively preventing further Russian advances, particularly near the settlement of Menaya. Russian troops are attacking from 2 directions, from Podubnoye and Fyodorovka. An approach from Komar is not possible due to the Mokry Yali River. Heavy fighting continues for control of Mirnaya, and it's possible the village could fall under Russian control by the end of the week. This morning, 2 videos appeared from Tolstoi. Russian flags have been raised, and an advance of approximately 1 kilometer was achieved. The entire red-marked area is now under Russian control, with the offensive now pushing toward Novokatskoye. Ukrainian logistics are complicated here due to a destroyed bridge and unstable temporary crossings. Russia's objective in this sector is to establish full control over this part of Donetsk region. Now we move to Marivka and Orikhovo. Russian troops are applying pressure on Marivka primarily using FPV drones and artillery, with little to no infantry engagement. Simultaneously, storming attempts on Orikhovo continue, but Ukrainian forces are holding the settlement and preventing Russian advances. If Orikhovo comes under Russian control, it will allow the clearing of a local pocket and open the path toward Novopavlovka in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Let's look at the Pokrovsk direction. In the areas of Molodetskoye and Udachnoye, positional battles continue with no change along the front line. The entire southern Pokrovsk front remains unchanged. Both sides are conducting strikes using artillery and FPV drones. Ukrainian strikes have also been recorded on Russian positions in the villages of Peshanoe, Shevchenko, Zelyonaya, Dachinskaya, and Lisovka, again without significant changes along the front. Now to Nikolaevka and Novoe Ekonomichnoye. 2 days ago, Russian troops entered Nikolaevka, confirmed by video evidence. From Mirolubovka, they advanced toward Novoe Ekonomichnoye and reportedly secured positions on the northern outskirts. Assault operations are ongoing. However, Ukrainian troops are using a mineshaft and underground tunnels in the area to adjust artillery fire, complicating Russian efforts. Even if the settlement is taken, it will be difficult to hold without controlling those structures. Nevertheless, partial Russian success on the northern edge of Novoe Ekonomichnoye continues to be reported, and we are awaiting additional video confirmations to update the map. Lastly, let's discuss the Yablunivka area. Yesterday, Russian troops advanced by 1 kilometer. Today, it's confirmed that they've expanded their control zone another 2 kilometers north and northwest of the settlement. The entire red-marked area is now under Russian control. Earlier strikes were also reported near Stepanovka, indicating Russian plans to storm that settlement soon. Assault operations continue near Alexandro-Kalinovo, though no significant shifts along the front line have been observed. Let's move to the Toretsk direction. Positional battles are ongoing across the entire sector. A key event occurred near Pleshcheyevka, where a guided aerial bomb struck Ukrainian positions, reportedly causing up to 1,500 casualties. While the footage exists in Telegram channels, we will not show it here. A Ukrainian T-64 tank was also destroyed in the area. Otherwise, the front remains static. Earlier, Russian forces also cleared the pocket between Dylayevka and Kurdyumovka, bringing it under their control. In Chasiv Yar, intense fighting continues. Ukrainian forces are launching counterattacks to reclaim lost ground, specifically near Stupochki and Nikolaevka. However, no territorial changes have been recorded. On the Seversk axis, there are no significant developments. Positional clashes persist near Seversk. Russian forces strike Ukrainian positions using FPV drones and artillery, while Ukrainians respond with strikes near Vremivka, Ivano-Darievka, Serebryanka, and Grigorovka. Still, the front line remains unchanged. Now to the Krasnyi Lyman direction, where we do see map updates. Starting with Torskoye, Russian forces are exerting pressure, but Ukrainian troops have brought in reinforcements and continue to hold the settlement. Despite pro-Russian sources claiming its capture, this information is unconfirmed and inaccurate. In Zelenaya Dolina, the situation is different. Yesterday saw the beginning of storming actions, and today it is confirmed that the area has come under full Russian control. Russian troops are now maneuvering around Karpovka from the south after failing to seize it from the north. Earlier attempts to storm Karpovka were unsuccessful. The advance in this sector totals up to 5 kilometers. The entire red-marked area is now cleared and controlled by Russian forces. Attacks continue on Novy Mir and Olgovka, but without changes to the front line. Now to the Kupiansk direction. Today brought reports of renewed assaults on Malaya Shapkovka. This village had previously been attacked several times without success. However, as of yesterday, the red-marked zone is under full Russian control. There are also new reports of fighting near Radkovka. Additionally, the southern part of Kondrashovka may have come under Russian control. Pressure in the area is growing. As for Dolgonkoye and Figolevka, the latter is possibly in Russian hands. But there is no video evidence from either side. Most likely, it remains in a grey zone. Russian attacks toward Petro-Ivanovka are also reported, likely using FPV drones. Strikes continue on Dolgonkoye, though no confirmed changes are noted. The entire area taken by Russian forces yesterday was previously marked on the map. Positional battles are ongoing near Krasnoye Pervoye and Kamenka with no changes. Let's go to Vovchansk. Daily reports detail mutual strikes. Both sides attack each other's positions. The front here remains as stable as in the Kherson region. A video showed a Ukrainian armored vehicle being destroyed by an FPV drone. Aside from this, the situation is unchanged. The Liptsi district is also experiencing positional fighting. No new updates have come from there in the past 24 hours. Finally, on the Sumy direction. Yesterday, Russian forces fully cleared the area around Gornal and established control. Video footage confirms their presence in the northern part of Orikhovka. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces regained control over Kondratovka and Andreevka. Today, heavy fighting broke out over Alexeyevka. Ukrainian troops launched attacks from 3 directions. Despite this, Russian forces are holding the settlement. However, if they do not counterattack soon, the situation may shift in Ukraine's favor by the end of the week. In the deep rear, Russian airstrikes hit temporary Ukrainian positions. Several FAB-500 bombs landed in forested areas, striking Ukrainian units stationed there. Additional strikes were recorded in other temporary locations, all marked on the map. Moving to the Tyotkino area, Ukrainian troops launched a counterattack toward Besilovka. As a reminder, Besilovka came under full Russian control yesterday. The counterattack was aimed at retaking lost positions. Video evidence shows a Ukrainian armored vehicle being destroyed by a Russian FPV drone. It is expected that future Ukrainian offensives may target Tyotkino or previously lost positions in the Orikhovka sector. All of these zones remain active combat areas. That concludes our current report. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.